Fucking Jack.
Pick 'em pie, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Going and take a shot. Dog lot, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pie from MMA takes. Yeah, let's get it going.
Yes, sir. What is going on? MMA Takes Podcast here. Brian Petrie is your host. That's me. How's it going? My hair is ridiculous. I know. Hopefully this file is not corrupted. I've done everything impossible, everything possible on my end not to do everything right. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying for a premiere program. It's $50 a month. Yeah, all this stuff. Listen, I know it's like crazy. Like, you know, you get all these tech. I got a tech ghost, clearly. I'm truly not that incompetent when it comes to the tech stuff. I'm actually pretty savvy. Spend a lot of money on this shit, but sometimes, just every once in a while, sorry, I gotta see. I'm trying to do setup, and I'm still not comfortable with it yet. But anyway, hopefully this is going to be crystal clear in HD on YouTube's. Trying to grow the channel. Give him a little Z-Man flex right there. So we got a fight night. We got a fight night before the big pay-per-view, second pay-per-view next week, which I think we're all kind of looking over this fight night to get to the meat and bones of the next one. I know I kind of am. This one is very hard. I'm not confident on any side I'm on. The slime ball parlay, I'm going to tell you right now, it is trash. The green hammer, I feel like I'm kind of copping out, right? I might switch it by the time we get to that fight. I have it written down. It's set in stone usually when I write it down, but I might switch out. And also, like, you know, the Anakin Florian it's probably coming out tonight. I already recorded it. You ever just have one of those days where you just feel flat? Like you weren't your best show? I'm incredibly hard on myself. None of you guys have seen it yet. You'll probably watch it either before or after this. Let me know if I was flat. Let me know if it was just a bad show. I felt terrible after I got done with that. I felt legit like, oh my God, I bombed. You know, one of those situations. And I know we not comparing myself to a fucking athlete, but athletes, sometimes you got to stand a comedian the same way. I felt like I just did not have it when we record it. A lot of times it could be in my head. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times I am a very hard self-critic of myself. Other times I'm honest with myself and go, yeah, shit the bed. But we're trying to give you a good show here. Trying to bring some picks here. Should I dive in? 2 minutes in, nothing personal. By the way, got everything sent out. I think the last time I talked to you, I had some things to send out. I sent Ray Longo a webcam I had laying around here, 1080p. So we're going to get Ray Longo in beautiful HD. I sent Christian, Molly, the Costellos, 2 boxing gloves that were just collecting dust. Again, I have a problem. I buy too much stuff. They're both in MMA classes. They needed some decent gear. Christian asked for a rec. I got a fucking hard on because that's all I love to talk about is recommendations for either, you know, electronic stuff or especially MMA gear. Got super rocked up. Ended up sending him both of them, Molly and him, his beautiful wife Molly, a pair each of a glove. And Christian said they put them to good use last night. That's awesome. I love that. And then Tatum Temple, I finally sent her gloves that I gave away, the Canelos, which I hopefully got to her today. Oregon's a long trek. Yeah, I sent them all UPS. Hopefully they got there today. But you should have seen me carrying those fucking things into work. All these fucking boxes in my bag. I'm going through security and shit. Like it was, you know, it was too much sometimes. But shout out all those people who I sent stuff to because they absolutely earned it, deserved it, and they're great people. All right, here we go. First Friday night. Let's quit fucking around, right? Let's quit fucking around. Daniel Marcos, minus 258 versus Orlic Long, which we'll get to. Plus 210. I love this fight. You got Orlic Long, who is literally just a buzzsaw. He is trying to tame it a little bit. He is trying to curve that buzzsawiness. However, it's still part of him. It's still who he is. And Marcos is super technical coming off a fight with David Grant. And I know David Grant looks like the fucking English dude from the Family Guy. Look at him. I'm putting him on the picture right here. Putting him on the screen right here. He looks like the fucking English guy from Family Guy, right? And we all doubt him. Me, I do. But the kid can fight, right? And Marcos pretty big pill to swallow on his first couple UFC fights in the Bias. And he took Davey Grant to a split decision, regardless if you think he won or not. Marcos is a good finisher. He's clean in there. I like him in the spot over Alicia Long. Let's get to Alicia Long's name, right? I've done this bit before. I've reached out to the wonderful Heidi Dean because I've done, like I said, I've done this before. And I wanted to play you the file of Alicia Long saying his name because it is the scariest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. You know, a lot of people are afraid of Francis Ngannou. A lot of people are intimidated by Mike Tyson back in the day. No. This 125, 135 pounder scares the fuck out of me. The Mongolian Murderer is his name. And shout out Heidi Dean. I text her 8 a.m. my time, 5 a.m. her time. She's dealing with a bunch of stuff in fucking the Super Bowl week in Vegas. Meanwhile, Power Slap. Meanwhile, UFC. She got back to me. She sent this to me. I apologized to her. I clearly am stupid and do not know how time zones work. But Heidi Dean, since I've been on the Anakin floor and I've gotten to meet some amazing people and I got amazing opportunities, Heidi Dean's at the top of the list. She's unbelievable. She made my birthday special. Every time I go to live events, she's there. She's awesome. Badass. My wife loves her. My kids who've never met her, they shout out at the TV. There's Heidi when she's in the background. She's an incredible person. Thank you for sending me this, Heidi. So listen to this fucking guy. Make sure I got it queued up here. Say his name and tell me he won't murder you in your fucking sleep. Okay?
My name is Ao Ri Qileng, Mongolian Murderer. My name is Ao Ri Qileng, Mongolian Murderer.
That is the scariest fucking thing you've ever heard. Original Mongolian Murderer. No one tell him I picked against him because holy fuck, that's a scary dude right there. Holy fuck. I like Marcos. I think he's cleaner. And I think he's going to get it done here over Alicia Long. Big favorite, but I tell you what, here's what you can tell Alicia Long, the Mongolian Murderer. Plus 210 is not a bad number. Plus 210 against a guy that can crack like him, not a bad fucking number. So if you want to go dog hunting first fight of the night, I don't hate it, but I'm going to go Marcos, just the cleaner guy in there. All right, next up, Hader and Mill, minus 198 versus Fernie Garcia, plus 164. This is an impossible fight to pick. This is an impossible. Fernie Garcia is like 0-3 in the UFC, super young, fought tough guys, got taken to the decision, has some real skills to him. Hader and Mill, I believe he's a Gilbert Melendez guy. Looks exactly like Josh Thompson, but I think he's a scrap pack guy. Am I wrong about that? Not really blowing me away. Looked okay in the Contender Series. Got taken down a lot, but fought through against a really grimy, tough wrestler and got the decision win. Has some knockouts outside the UFC. He's only 8-0. He doesn't blow me away on paper. Fernie Garcia hasn't won in the UFC, and I think he's due, right? I'm going Fernie at dog money at plus 164. I kind of hate this spot, though. I probably will end up playing it come fight night. But look at Fernie's fucking UFC record so far, right? Journey Newsom, listen, that should have been a win. He could have won that. Brady Hiestand, again, grappler, right? Grappler, and then Ryan Nakamura, who's a stud, another grappler. He won on the Contender Series against Joshua Weems. There's no Weems ever that are going to be winning in fucking MMA. Your last name's Weems, change it, bro. He's 31 years old, so I take that back. He's a lot older than I thought. I've clearly done my research. Hader Mill, again, yeah, San Francisco, El Nino Training Center, scrap pack, whatever. Not a lot of guys come from out there. Undefeated record, but again, I'm just not blown away by him. I don't like the huge number. I think this maybe should be close to a pick'em. And when I think it's close to a pick'em, I'm going to take the sizable underdog at plus 164. That's almost 2-1 on your money, babe. So give me Fernie Garcia. Not overly confident. But I will probably place bets. I had a good weekend last weekend. I'm up some shekels. I will probably be placing those bets. So what are you gonna do? Like, my phone knows when I get on here. And it's like, hey, those emails you've been waiting for all day, we'll email you now. All right, here we go. Next up, Zach Puanga. Am I saying his name right? Yeah, minus 122 versus this fucking guy, Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov. This is the dude who Looks like a Russian Anthony Smith. Debuted against Volkan Ozdemir and got starched. He's a little crazy. He's got a right hand, and that's it. They're giving him Zach Puanga here, who I don't know if he's all that good. Got knocked out by Mo Usman. He hasn't looked great in the UFC. He hasn't been knocked out since, but he hasn't looked great in my opinion. Bogdan has a right hand. He's plus money currently. Baby, barely plus money at plus 102. I'm going to go Bogdan just because his name's fucking Bogdan. But also, he's fought some good competition. Sometimes the Russian, Eastern European guys, sometimes, not all the time, most of the time they have phenomenal success in the UFC. Every once in a while, they don't have the best success. And they come over to UFC, especially this type of style. It's not really a grapple. He's more of a bang 'em, let me hit you type dude. And again, has a good right hand. That's about it. But I like him over Puanga here. Puanga could stall this, maybe try to take him down. He's working. He's athletic, former football player, all that. He's learning. He's trying to get better. But again, I just like Bogdan. Again, I don't want to piss off two guys that I think could murder me, and that's Olichinlong and Bogdan. So I already picked against Olichinlong. So I'm gonna go Bogdan here. Back-to-back dogs right there. Yeah. Jeremiah Wells next, minus 148 versus Max Griffin. Plus 124. This is a tough fight, dude, because Max Griffin been around forever, has fought everyone. Jeremiah Wells is a guy who I try to fade, and he's hard to fade because he'll get rocked. He'll get the shit knocked out of him. He won't go away. He'll keep battling back, and his grappling is so good that he'll win fights where maybe he shouldn't win. That's Jeremiah Wells. Good grappling. Max Griffin, has he ever really fought a pure grappler like Jeremiah Wells? Jeremiah Wells, short, compact, great cardio. He's going to absolutely try to take Max Griffin down. Mike Morales is Max Griffin's last fight. Michael Morales can grapple a little bit. Tim Means, no. Neil Magny, I was there live in Columbus. Max should have won that fight, but, Neil, it was more of a clinch fest. Carlos Condit, not a grappler. Keenan Song, not a grappler. Ramir Bramajaj can grapple a little bit, but not really. Alex Oliveira, not a grappler. Alex Moreno can grapple, not really a grappler. Got pieced up in that fight. Zlim Ivamadov, decision Mordori. Don't remember that fight. Tiago, you get the story. He hasn't really fought many grapplers. So I'm going Wells here. Wells could actually be a slime ball candidate, but he's not. He could be, because I think this dude just takes Max down, plays him out the back. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Max is smart. He's in shape. He's big for 170. He is going to be ready to try to stop these takedowns. But Jeremiah Wells is the kind of guy who's not going to stop. We've seen in fights before where a guy, his path to victory is wrestling, and he'll try a single, he'll try a double, not get it, gives up, right? Because he's like, I don't want to tire myself out. No. Jeremiah Wells will continue to wrestle, continue to chain wrestle, make it annoying for Max, stick to him like glue. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I like Jeremiah Wells by decision. Don't think he can finish a guy like Max, with the fucking over 2.5 is minus 115. The over-unders, my kids are screaming in the background. Just, hey, let's go, man. Josh. Jeez, oh, Pete, see me? I had a dad. You see that? Just fucking dad it there for a little bit. Jeremiah Wells by decision plus 225. Add that to my card. I like him by decision. Submission, KO, both plus 400. I don't know if he's definitely not going to KO Max. I don't know if he can submit Max either. Maybe if he gets his back, maybe, possibly. But Max is scrappy, dude. I don't know. All right, next up. Devin Clark, minus 230 versus Marcin Prachniko, plus 190. I hate this fight. I hate this fight for numerous reasons. I don't think it's going to be a good fight. I think both these guys probably shouldn't be in the UFC. Sorry. And I can't ever get them right? So I'm not going to sit here and spend 25 minutes on a breakdown on every angle, on every side of what we can do and waste everyone's time. Give me Devin Brown Bear Clark. He's more durable. He has more ways to win. Prachnikow needs distance. He likes to kick from the outside. His takedown offense is okay. Other than that, he has really no other game. His chin is still questionable to me. Brown Bear Clark, if he gets aggressive, if he becomes the guy that we all think he could be with the athleticism, the power, all that, he should win this fight. Probably going to lay an egg. I'm staying away from it. You ain't going to catch me betting this fight. I ain't betting it. I ain't doing it. I'm looking at the camera right now. I ain't doing it. But I'm taking Devin Clark. All right, next up, Luca Bumi versus Bruna Brazil. Just for old time shakes here.
know chicks, and I am the one who knows chicks.
I believe this is the only chick fight on the card. And God, I love saying Luma Lukabumi's name. You know, it's a fun name to say. Luma Lukabumi. Listen, she's a fantastic fighter. She's really coming in her own. She's got some true MMA coaches. She's small for the division, but she's compact. She's strong. She's good in the clinch. She's nasty, you know, with her inside elbows and powerful as well. When you grab somebody that, even if they're small or what, you grab somebody in the clinch that knows what they're doing, it's a different world. It's a crazy strength. And, you know, Bruna Brazil coming off the Dana White's Contender Series kind of had a little hype behind her, right? A lot of people kind of liked her. Came on the Contender Series with a head kick, got starched by Denise Gomes, and then beat Sean and Brandon, which, you know, Sean and Brandon is, you know, pretty girl from Ireland, who I think is an okay fighter, but she was super overhyped, and Brazil got it. I don't know, man. Your boy knows chicks, and I'm hungry, right? I'm hungry for some of that underdog meat. So I'm going to go Bruna Brazil here by decision. I just think Luma Lukabumi has looked fantastic. She's coming off a submission win, which, you know, she's learning MMA and she has all the faculties to be a great MMA fighter. But, man, I don't know. I think Brazil is getting a little overlooked here with this huge number next to her name at plus 236 or plus 235, whatever the fuck it is. Give me Bruna Brazil. Not looking back. I don't think I've ever picked against Luma Lukabumi because I love saying her name. I'm slowly regretting it as we're breaking this down, but you know what? I'm going to stick with my gut. I know fucking chicks. Bruna Brazil. That's the pick. All right, next up, fight came together very last minute. Timothy Kwamba versus this fucking guy's name. I should have asked ID to send me this guy's name. Bolji Oiki. I'm sorry if I'm that. I mean, that's a tough name. Belige. It has to be like Belige. There's no way his first name is Bolji. Brian, you fucking idiot. Belige Oiki. Oki? I'm going to say Oki, right? Let's go Oki. The Zulu Warrior, fighting out of Belgium, Vision team, has one loss. That was his debut back in 2018. Other than that, he's just punishing people. I believe he has 2 decision wins. The rest are finishes. Coming off a first-round knockout in the on the Contender Series where he looked jacked. He looked great. He looked like he had blonde hair. You know, when those when black people, man or woman, when they dye their hair blonde for a fight, a la Kevin Randleman, a la Melvin Gillard, it does something to me. It does. I love it. I love it so much. It looks so fucking badass. It's crazy. If this dude's hair's dyed blonde, I'm putting multiple units on him. Okay? That's what I'll say here. He's my pick. I don't think I'm going to put multiple units on him right now. He's my pick. Kwamba came out the Contenders. I don't know if he got a contract or not. Very good fighter. Fights out of Vegas. Young. Could easily put it together. I heard some good things about him in Vegas, but you know, the Zulu Warrior is fucking nasty in there, but can he do it for more than one round? I'm worried about cardio. Belgium is in a fucking hot place for MMA right now. So yeah, but listen, you come out in blonde hair, bro. You're going to get 2 units whopped on you right there. I'm going to go Okai, however you say his fucking name. I'm an idiot. But I'm going to go with him. I'm nervous. I loved him in the fight before this. Who he's supposed to fight? Where's the memory at? But Damir Hadzovic, who I think is on his way out of the UFC. Timothy Kwamba, if I'm saying his name right. Young, hungry, wants that shot. Good striker. Kind of good everywhere. Cardio, good. This makes it interesting. But again, if he comes in with blonde fucking hair, and either hairstyle. I do like a fade with the blonde hair. But if he comes in with blonde hair, you got to load up. You got to fucking load up. That's what it is. Woo! Coca-Cola. Get me right. Next up, you got Trevin Giles versus Carlos Pratas. Giles is a plus 210 underdog, and Pratas is a minus 258. Rest of these fights, I believe, besides the third fight, the Petrie fight, these are all got picked on Anakin Florian. I'm sorry, I always say that every podcast. I just don't want to bore you. Kenny really liked Giles in the spot. Kenny told me he was surprised I picked Pratas. I really like practicing the spot so much so. Again, Christian's gonna kill me. I'm making a debutante in the slime ball parlay, and I'm gonna be making 2 in the slime ball parlay, 2 UFC debutantes in the slime ball parlay. I told you I hated it. Okay, don't judge me. But Practice is your fucking typical southpaw. He's 6'1", but he fights so much longer. Long limbs, long legs, long arms, and he's just a southpaw. It's just, he's shooting that left. He's shooting the back leg. He's fearless in there. He gets taken down. He works his way back up to the feet, which is great. Trevin Giles has been there with fucking everybody. Back from his LFA days to his UFC days. He's been there with everybody. Was at 85. Now he's at 70. He can get cracked though. Giles has been knocked out, but he can get grimy. He can wrestle. He can grapple. He can make it ugly. And that's what scares me is him making it ugly against Prates. How's Prates cardio? He's 17-6. When you look at that record as a Brazilian newcomer, you're like, ugh, but a lot of his losses were early in his career. And let's just say he's not taking it serious. Let's say he's taking it seriously now. He's fucking finishing people. He's got great kicks, great punches, great knees. I'm worried about the takedowns. I'm worried about the cardio. All those things are presented. Slimeball candidate number 1. He also my send him home, baby. Send him home. I think he finishes Giles. What is him by knockout? What is him by send him home? Should have had that written down. Oh, Brian, you know what I mean? What are we doing? What are we doing here? All right, Prates by KO, -110. Vegas is on it. I'm still adding that to my fucking card. -110 isn't as juicy as I want, and I want some kind of plus number, but what are you going to do? All right, next up, Rodolfo. I said this was the pronunciation of the week, by the way, and I fucking nailed it. Rodolfo Vieira. I mean, literally, my dick moves when how perfect I nail that. Rodolfo Vieira versus Arman Petrosian. -115 for Vieira, -105 for Petrosian. I see a lot. Kenny picked Petrosian. Spoiler. I'm picking Vieira. A lot of Twitter is what I've seen. I haven't been on much. Your boy is trying to be more productive through the week. You know what I mean? I was going to start the podcast by telling you guys like what I've been doing to be more productive, but you guys don't want to hear that, or do you? Shit, I spill the beans. No, I'm just kidding. So I haven't been on Twitter as much as I normally would be during a fight week, but the little I have been on, I see some love for Petrosian, and I fully don't understand. I think he's a good striker, but I think he's vulnerable. 36% takedown defense. Vieira is a big muscle-bound man. He's going to get this fight down at least once. I think that's all he needs. Petrosian has never been submitted before, but he's never had Vieira on his back. He's never had Vieira on top. Vieira's got a great arm triangle choke. He's got great arm bars. He's got great back takes. Vieira by submission, +165. Add that to my card. Didn't know I was going to get plus money on that. I like Vieira. So this is what's going to happen, right? Because Petrosian is so head and shoulders better than him, and he's a big guy himself. He's muscled up, skinny muscled up, right? He's like one of those longer jack dudes that are usually really strong. He's going to need perfect takedown defense, which I don't know if he can give me. And he doesn't have many knockouts in the UFC. Of course, he can knock somebody out. Vieira is actually fairly tough on the feet. Chris Curtis hit him over 126 times. He got cracked by that Russian Spakagov, whoever the fuck that bum's name is. Cut him bad. He got submitted. So Vieira's not a pushover. He's tough and he's jacked, and his cardio has been improving. He's got a third round submission over Dustin Stolfoots, second round submission over Cody Brundage. The guy's cardio is improving. He's come a long way since the Fluffy Hernandez debacle. Give me Vieira. Give me by submission as well. A lot of people are splitting that fight. I think actually most of it is Petrosian. The line's not reflecting that. Maybe a lot of people haven't placed bets or large bets on this yet, but line's not reflecting Petrosian. But what I'm seeing, Kenny Florian, other people on MMA Twitter I respect, they like Petrosian, and really that's all that fucking matters. All right, next up, Michael Johnson. +142 versus Darius Flowers, +120. This is tough because I love Michael Johnson, right? He's like I described this on the end before. He's an ex-girlfriend, right? That you care for. You can't get rid of, right? She'll call 2 a.m. Oh yeah, I need a ride. Okay, I'll come get you, right? You just can't quit her, but she breaks your heart. That's what Michael Johnson is. I can't quit him because I think he's so fucking talented. He's good, but he breaks your fucking heart, right? I'm not going to get heartbroken here. This is almost like I'm going to pick against him so he wins. I'm going to bet against him so he wins type deal. I'm picking Darius Flowers plus 120. I like Flowers by knockout as well. Flowers is very one-dimensional striker, primarily a boxer with really short fucking T-Rex arms. I mean, his arms are like this. So he's got to get fucking dick to dick to be able to hit you. But if he does, he could put out Johnson. Plus 165 Darius Flowers by knockout. Not on my card. Take that off my card because I thought that'd be way higher. Michael Johnson, incredibly fast feet, fast hands, takedown offense is improved. You know, reflexes are fantastic. He just, for 15 minutes, there's always a moment where he isn't focused, and that's when he loses, right? And the chin's been a little bit of a question now since he's been knocked out, but I think he should beat Darius Flowers. I think Darius Flowers debuted in the UFC against Jake Matthews, up 170 pounds, just got strangled. What are you going to do? Trains with Bilal Muhammad, the Chicago boys. He's tough. He's got boxing experience. He does have a good chin. He can probably take a good shot and give a good shot, but his setups and everything isn't great. If Michael can use his footwork and his speed, he should win this fight all day long. But again, I can't get back in that trap. Fuck it, I'm back in the trap. I'm switching my pick. Give me Michael Johnson. I'm texting the boys. After this. That's an official pick switch on the Anakin Florian as well. On this show right now, I'm back in. Fuck it. Break my heart. I don't care. Michael Johnson has all the tools to win this fight, and I'm going to bet on him. God damn, what a rush. I did not know I was going to do that. That was not a bit. That was not planned. I did not know I was going to do that. Woo! You got to love it, baby. You got to love it. All right, next up. Where are we at? 26 minutes, 27 minutes? Okay. Brad Tavares, plus 200 versus Gregory Rodriguez, minus 245. And, knock that over. That's what happens when you got this big old fucking hammer, man. Sometimes you knock things over. Last week, I did not knock it over. Last week, I hit a good underdog in Charlie Racky. I thought he was going to win decision. Won by knockout. Green Hammer went to shit. Dog lock won. This is also my dog lock. I didn't learn my lesson. Brad Tavares, dog lock. Okay? Him by KO, plus 500. That was almost the Green Hammer. But I saw something else that I think is absolutely crazy. All right? Let me keep this right here. Brad Tavares has been around forever. Went 3 rounds with Dricus Duplessis. Got knocked around, right? Sure, got knocked around. Has been knocked out before. 35, 36 years old. Maybe his chin's not the same. Looked really good against Weidman. Impossible to take down. His takedown offense is great. Cardio is great. The 3.5 point spread on DraftKings, plus 3.5 for Brad Tavares is plus 100. I think that's insane. I think not only can he win this fight, I think he can win by knockout. And if it goes to the decision, I think it's going to be a close fight because Greg Rodriguez is going to have to strike with him. And Greg Rodriguez has powerful hands. He is a very good boxer, but the chin's a problem, right? If he can't get this fight to the ground, which I don't think he will, he's now one-dimensional. And Brad can pick it up with some leg kicks and bring in, going high to low, mixing it up. He can squeak it around. I think he's going by knockout. So my play is Green fucking Hammer, right? Point spread, which I think this is kind of a bitch move doing the point spread, but I'm going to do it anyway. Plus 3.5, plus 100, Brad Tavares. That's the Green Hammer. Brad Tavares, dog lock.
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
Okay, there's a dog. Dog lock. Hammered in there, plus 200. Brad Tavares by knockout, plus 500. That's a 3-way play. All separate bets, but that's a 3-way motherfucking play there, baby. Look at this fucking thing. Huh? Baby. That's the thumbnail right there. Speaking of that, the last YouTube video, not the one that corrupted, but the one I posted, I put myself in the thumbnail, which I'm usually against. I don't ever want to have a thumbnail like, but that gets you hits. I had over 1,000 views the last one with my stupid face in it. So that one, me with the green hammer right there, that's the fucking thumbnail, baby. Brad Tavares, 3-way play. I'm excited. Let's go. Next up, Ihor Petrie. Plus 136 versus, God, I don't know how to say this guy's name. Let me get it bigger here on the TV or the screen here. Robert can say that, bitch. Robert Bursky? Sure, why not? Megan's UFC debut, I believe, right? Yeah. UFC debut coming from Octagon, which is a nice little regional promotion coming from Poland. Big, strong dude. Big knockout. Everyone knows how I feel about Petrie. This fight came together last minute, by the way. I think Petrie is a bum for what he did to Shogun. I think that's karma coming his way. Chin, not great. Trained in Vegas. Was training with Chris Curtis. Those boys down in Vegas. So I do like the move for him there. And I think Bretsky, he is, I'm probably pronouncing, I think it's easy as Bretsky. There's no way. Polish names are way harder than that, but whatever. I'm going to go with Bretsky. He had some lumps early in his career. He's fought some good competition, but he is powerful. And I think he's going to knock out Petrie here. I like him by knockout, and I like him so much. Hopefully Christian's not listening to this. That's 2 debutantes in the slime ball parlay. I told you I didn't like it. Get off my ass, okay? Give me Bretsky. Don't have much thoughts on the fight. I think both guys, Bretsky's a good signing. He's got a good look, right? 185 pounder. They need that in that division. He's an exciting guy. He does have some knockouts on his record on a big promotion. And this is a good matchup for him against Petrie. So I'm going to go with Petrie, I'm going to go with Bretsky to knock out Petrie because I'm just not going to pick the guy ever. You do that goofy shit to Shogun on his final fight. Fuck you. You're out. All right, next up, Dan Ige, minus 175 versus Andre Fili, plus 145. Oh, toughest fight to pick on the card, I think. Andre Fili has been around forever, has fought everyone. I can't believe these guys haven't fought before. They both have fought everyone at 145. You got a short, stocky kind of guy, Ige, who wants to get in close to hammer you up. You got Fili, who wants to stay distance. Fili, I think, has the better wrestling edge if he wants to use it. Dan Ige got exposed in the wrestling against Bryce Mitchell. It just comes down to, I think, Fili sometimes when he fights a guy like an Ige who does have power, who does have speed, who is this body frame, a la Nathaniel Wood, a la Johannes and Brito, the compact guys, he struggles with it, right? He got knocked out by Brito. He got dropped by Nathaniel Wood. Ige does have power. Doesn't have a ton of knockouts on his record as of late, but there's still power there. Both these guys are kind of fighting for the gatekeeper division. Who's going to be the gatekeeper at 145 at this point? I think it's a competitive fight. This fight could either be really fun and bloody because both these guys can deliver that, or it's going to be measured and boring because they both want a win. I'm leaning Ige. Minus 175 isn't something I love. I see Fili being able to wrestle and win this fight, win a decision, close decision. I don't see a finish either way. Over 2.5 as a play. Kenny like Fili as well. He's going dog shopping on this one. But, I'm going to go Ige. I don't have a super strong lean on it. Unfortunately, for being a co-main event, I think it's going to be it's 50-50 in my mind of what kind of fight it's going to be. But, I'm going to lean Ige. Hopefully, it's a fun fight. I root for every fight to be a fun fight. All right, next up. Main event, Jack Hermansson. Plus 260, 240. What is that? I can't read my own handwriting. What is it? 210, I think. 220, 210. I can't read shit. Versus Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer. Minus 258. Listen, there's nobody on this world, on this earth, this motherfucker earth, that loves Joe Pyfer more than Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer. Listen to him on Rogan, right? That's the most self-sucking dick I've ever heard. Ego through the roof, confidence through the roof. Does he have the skills to pay the bills? Yet to be seen, right? Lost twice. One was a broken arm, and the other one was early in his career. He comes from a grappling gym. He fancies himself as a decent little grappler. Won his last fight by submission, took the fight to the ground, grappled GM3 outside the UFC or, one of the grappling events. And again, trains with Sean Brady, that Philly gym. They produce really good grapplers. He's also enormous for 185, incredibly explosive and powerful. He is going around, Sean Brady and him both are going around talking about how he broke Francis Ngannou's punch record. I don't know what that means. It was on one of those dumb punch machines or whatever. I don't know. Clearly the guy hits hard. You enter Jack Hermansson, he hasn't won since my guy Chris Curtis, where he used just lateral movement and boxed up Chris Curtis, and Chris couldn't get a beat on him. That's not going to happen here with Pyfer. Pyfer is bigger, can cut the distance off, it will lunge in, threaten with takedowns as well. Hermansson's great on the ground, But we saw what happened when Delite got on top of big, strong grappler, not comparing Joe Pyfer grappling to Roman Delite grappling, comparing the fact that Jack Hermansson, who is a good grappler, when he got taken down, got finished on the ground. You got to watch out for Hermansson on the ground, though, if you're Pyfer. Pyfer's smoking too much of his own shit, sucking too much of his own dick. This could be a problem. This is a trap fight. He could run into this. I'm wondering why he's not higher than 258, because this is my motor lock.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Wrong button.
You better lock it up.
There it
You
is.
better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Joe Pyfer might not have gas in it, but this is my mortal lock. Joe Pyfer. He's also a slime ball candidate. I'm believing in the hype. I'm believing in Joe Pyfer. I think he can finish Jack Hermansson here. I think that's a good bet as well. I'm not overly, I am overly confident in it, but minus 258. I know it's come up. It was minus 225 earlier this week. I think he opened at like minus 198 or maybe even lower. Why isn't this number higher? I would pay in the 3s, the 4s for this one. I already placed a slime ball parlay, so I got it at minus 258. But it is puzzling. Who knows something, right? Is this too much? Hermansson's been in there fucking everybody. Is this too much for Joe Pyfer? This is what Pyfer wants. Is this too much? Is he all hype? Is he a one-round freight train? Get out of the one round? Done? I don't know. There's a lot of questions, but I'm putting them in the slime ball parlay, which I've already told you a million times. I don't fucking like, so don't give me shit. All right, slime ball parlay is going to be Joe Pyfer. It is going to be Robert Bretsky, if that's how you say his name, and Carlos Pratas, plus 211. 2 debutantes. And I know if it loses, Christian's going to text me on Saturday. I told you so. I told you so. But yeah, that's what I like for the slime ball. Very tough. Remember, I give myself 1 week a year to pass on slime ball. Doesn't count towards the record. I'm just not going to give one out that week. This was close. I couldn't do it in February. We had a long year ahead. But this one's close because I could not find something I love. So that's the slime ball. Pyfer, Bretsky, Pratas, Greenhammer, point spread, plus 3.5, plus 100 on Brad Tavares. Completely blanked on that. Mortal lock Joe Pyfer, dog lock Brad Tavares, send him home Carlos Pratas. That's the show, baby. All right, subscribe to the channel. You're probably watching this on YouTube right now, so hit that fucking subscribe button. Drop a little boop, 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 comment. I love it. Follow me on all social medias at Brian Petrie MMA on Insta, on motherfucking Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. That's the motherfucking show. You guys are the best. Have a good weekend. And let's win all the monies.